In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on April 16, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Atlanta Braves versus Toronto Blue Jays. In the last matchup of a 3-game interleague set, the Atlanta Braves will be facing off against the Toronto Blue Jays at the Rogers Center on Wednesday afternoon. The Braves kicked things off with a solid 8-4 win on Monday, getting the upper hand early in the series. Despite that win, Atlanta still sits at the bottom of the National League East standings, trailing the first-place team by 6 games. On the other side, the Blue Jays haven't had the smoothest stretch lately. They've dropped 3 of their last 4, including Monday's game. Even so, Toronto is still in the hunt, holding second place in the American League East, just half a game behind the Yankees. I get why some folks might lean toward backing Toronto here. The Braves didn't start the season off strong and have been fighting an uphill battle when it comes to finding their rhythm. That being said, I think Atlanta has the upper hand when it comes to the starting pitching matchup. Gausman's go-to pitch, his splitter, just isn't fooling hitters the way it used to. His strikeout numbers have dipped in recent starts, which raises some red flags. Toronto might show a little more fire in this final game of the series, but I have a feeling Schwellenbach will keep them in check. As our first pick for this matchup, the Atlanta Braves money line is our full game side pick. The total score has landed under the projected line in 10 of Toronto's last 14 games, and 4 of their previous 5 at home have also gone under. On top of that, when Toronto faces teams from the National League, the under has cashed in 7 of the last 8 times. Offensively, the Blue Jays are ranked 14th in total runs scored, while the Braves are further down at 25th. With Spencer Strider, one of the most promising young arms in the game, and the always steady Chris Bassett, who's been nearly untouchable to start the season, taking the mound, it's hard to imagine either lineup getting much going. Both teams have had a tough time driving in runs when it counts. Atlanta ranks 22nd in OPS with runners in scoring position, and Toronto is just a notch below at 25th. Historically, this matchup hasn't exactly been a high-scoring affair either, with the under hitting in 6 of their last 10 meetings. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Detroit Tigers versus Milwaukee Brewers. The Detroit Tigers, who are currently sitting at a 10-6 record, are set to finish off their 3-game series against the Milwaukee Brewers, who come into this one at 8-9. First pitch is scheduled for Wednesday afternoon, wrapping up what's been a competitive little stretch between these two clubs. This feels like the game where the Brewers find their groove again, especially with the pitching advantage clearly in their corner. They've got Jose Quintana taking the mound, and he looked sharp in his debut for Milwaukee, going 7 full innings without allowing a run and surrendering just 4 hits. That kind of start builds confidence, and when you factor in his recent track record, he's kept his earned run average below 3.75 for 4 straight years. It seems likely he'll settle in fast and keep the Tigers quiet. Detroit will counter with Reese Olson, but his season's off to a shaky beginning. In his first 3 starts, he's allowed 10 runs total, with 2 games where 4 of those runs were earned. On top of that, he's been pretty hittable lately, giving up at least 6 hits in each of his last 2 outings. The Brewers also have a winning record when playing at home, and with a veteran arm on the hill, they've got a strong shot at sending the Tigers back home with a loss. As our first pick for this matchup, the Milwaukee Brewers money line is our full game side pick. Detroit's going with Reese Olson, and honestly, he's been one of the more unreliable arms in their rotation so far. He's got a 6 earned run average, and in every start this year, he's allowed at least a couple of earned runs. He hasn't shown much in the way of control or the kind of stuff that keeps hitters off balance. The Brewers' offense should be able to take advantage, especially since they've got some of their best hitters healthy and contributing. Chaurio, in particular, has been a bright spot. He's gotten a hit in almost every game this season and has been leading off recently, which will put early pressure on Olson. For Milwaukee, Quintana gets the ball again after a strong opener. He's 36 and pitching for his 8th team, so he'll need to prove that his early success is more than just a one-off. Neither Olsen nor Quintana is really the kind of pitcher who blows hitters away with velocity or filthy breaking balls, so it wouldn't be a surprise to see both teams get some runners on throughout the game. Offensively, both squads have been producing lately. The Brewers are putting up 5.14 runs per game over their last 7, and the Tigers aren't far behind, averaging 4 runs across their last 6. Recent matchups between these two teams have leaned toward the high-scoring side as well, with the total going over in 4 of the last 5 games. The first game of this series already hit the over, and there's a good chance this finale does the same. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Mets versus Minnesota Twins. New York, currently holding an 11-5 record, will aim to secure a series victory when they travel to Target Field on Wednesday afternoon to wrap up a 3-game interleague set against Minnesota, who are sitting at 5-12. The first 2 games in this series have been split between the teams, so the rubber match carries added weight. Minnesota has managed to win 2 of their last 3 contests, and they've started to show signs of life offensively, scoring 5 or more runs in 3 of their last 5 outings. That suggests their early season slump might be easing up. Meanwhile, New York has also split their last 4 games and remains strong on the mound with one of the top pitching rotations in the league. Minnesota's struggles to open the season have been pretty clear, and those issues are likely to carry over into this matchup. Desta had a decent debut outing, but New York's lineup, led by Juan Soto and the rest, poses a tougher challenge than what he faced against the Tigers. Expect the Mets to get to him early. On the flip side, Canning has been solid this season and should have enough in the tank to hold down a Twins offense that's still trying to find its footing. As our first pick for this matchup, the New York Mets money line is our full game side pick. In recent games, the Mets have gone over the total in 3 of their last 6. On average, New York scores 4.13 runs per game, and that number has crept up to 4.67 across their last 3 outings. They're hitting just .210 against right-handed pitchers, but they'll be facing one here who allowed 2 runs in his only appearance against them. The Twins, on the other hand, are scoring just 3.29 runs per game this season and have averaged a mere 2 runs in their last 3. They're batting .225 against righties and will see a starter who gave up 4 runs in his most recent start and 9 runs the last time he faced the Twins. With both teams bringing the potential to break through, there's a good chance this game ends up going over the projected total. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Houston Astros versus St. Louis Cardinals. The Houston Astros, currently sitting at 7-9, are wrapping up a 3-game road series on Wednesday against the St. Louis Cardinals, who hold an 8-8 record at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, often referred to as the gateway to the West. The Astros dropped the first game of the series on Monday, losing 8-3 to the Cardinals. It's been a tough stretch for Houston, as they've dropped 2 of their last 3 games and are now 4th in the American League West. Meanwhile, the Cardinals are riding some momentum, having won 3 of their last 4. With Monday's victory, they're just a game and a half out of first place in the National League Central. The Astros haven't fared well on the road recently, losing 4 of their last 6 away games. They've also dropped 5 of their last 6 when facing National League opponents. The Cardinals, on the other hand, are trending in the opposite direction, winning 4 of their last 6 overall and 4 out of their last 5 at home. Offensively, Houston hasn't found much of a rhythm, only 27 extra base hits so far, and their power bat, Yordan Alvarez, has managed just 1 homer and 9 RBIs. They're also clearly missing the production of Kyle Tucker, who is no longer with the team. St. Louis is clicking on offense, ranking in the top 3 in 4 major offensive stats. They lead all of baseball in both batting average and on-base percentage and sit 3rd in slugging and runs scored. Houston starting pitcher Ronald Blanco has struggled early, giving up 9 runs and 12 hits across 11.2 innings. In contrast, Cardinals starter Steven Matz has come out of the bullpen 5 times this year and allowed only 3 earned runs over the same number of innings. As our first pick for this matchup, the St. Louis Cardinals money line is our full game side pick. When Houston and St. Louis have faced off recently, the scoreboard tends to light up. 5 of their last 6 meetings in St. Louis have ended with the total going over. Blanco's pitching hasn't helped either. His earned run average is a shaky 6.94, and in each of his 3 starts he's allowed anywhere from 2 to 4 runs, all of them coming within the first 5 innings. On the flip side, the Cardinals have been one of the top run-producing teams in the league. Offensively, St. Louis has come out swinging to start the season, which is a big part of why they've won 4 out of their last 6 games. As a team, they're hitting a strong .287 and have an OPS of .801, which speaks to their ability to get on base and hit for power. Brendan Donovan, although he's only had 4 at-bats, has been outstanding, batting .391. Blanco's early struggles don't bode well for Houston, especially going up against a lineup that's been this hot. Even though Houston's offense hasn't been explosive, they should be able to scratch across some runs once Steven Matz leaves the game. That gives this matchup a solid shot at hitting the over. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago Cubs versus San Diego Padres. The Chicago Cubs and the San Diego Padres are set to wrap up a 3-game set on Wednesday afternoon. Both teams have kicked off the season strong, and as things stand, they each sit at the top of their respective National League divisions. This series has been a good early season test for 2 clubs playing sharp baseball. Lately, the Cubs have hit a bit of a speed bump, going 2-3 over their last 5 games. Meanwhile, the Padres have been rolling and currently hold the best record in baseball. They haven't dropped a single game at home, entering Tuesday with a perfect 11-0 mark at Petco Park. San Diego is riding a 5-game winning streak, including a convincing 10-4 win over Chicago to open this series. Cubs starter Matt Boyd has been decent overall, though he's not untouchable. He gave up 3 runs his last time out. The bullpen behind him has been shaky at best, with a bloated 5.23 earned run average that's left the Cubs vulnerable late in games. On the other hand, Padres righty Nick Pivetta has been locked in. He's only allowed 3 runs over 17 innings this season and blanked the Braves in one of those outings. He hasn't given up a single run in either of his home starts. As our first pick for this matchup, the San Diego Padres money line is our full game side pick. Before facing San Diego, the Cubs held the Dodgers to just 5 total runs. In fact, Chicago had allowed 3 or fewer runs in 3 of their last 4 games leading into Tuesday. Boyd also tossed 6 scoreless innings against this very Padres team earlier this month, so there's some familiarity. But San Diego's pitching right now is on another level. Over their last 5 games, they've surrendered just 6 runs total. At home, they've been almost untouchable, allowing an average of only 1.35 runs across 11 games. Their bullpen has been the best in baseball so far, posting a league-leading 1.5 earned run average. With both teams showing flashes of quality pitching, it's hard to see this one turning into a slugfest. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.